Everyone loves the fair. And the animals are always a favorite, enjoyed by the visitors who attend, and loved by the exhibitors who attend to them. It's a long-term commitment for exhibitors who purchase and care for these animals. And when one gets sick, it's not just upsetting for the exhibitor, it can affect other animals and your visitor's experience. So when a local 4-H group approached their fair administrators with ideas on biosecurity, the collaboration was beneficial to everyone.
The project that we've done over the past couple of years has been working with youth on home environments, especially 4-H groups, as well as county fairs where they take their animals to show and try and understand what are the best practices that they can use at home and at the fair to keep the animals and the people healthy.
These kids were super excited to be part of the project. We were very lucky and we had 36 youth that took part in the project with all 3 species, sheep, beef, and swine.
We worked with the 4-H leadership and came up with some ideas on how we could provide essentially a tool package so that there would be some education and curriculum development and then test out how well that works for helping to understand risks at home and risks at the fair to keep everyone healthy.
Every month we meet for a meeting and we'd show what we do different every time. You know, do you bleach your shoes before you go out to the pen? How often you clean the water bowl? How often you clean the feed bowl?
UC Davis researchers took samples at the beginning of the project and then again after the best practices had been applied to measure the success of the new procedures.
It's really cool to see the differences that it actually made and how what we did helped our animals and all of the livestock and not spreading diseases.
The youth who'd been learning about best practices to keep their animals healthy at home on the farm, they then came to the fair and were able to say, hey, we think that we'd like to clean out the stalls more often, or we'd like to have signage about hand washing. And so they were making those kind of suggestions to improve biosecurity and keep everyone healthy at the fair, and the fair management listened. And so it was a really interesting dynamic to try and everyone's on the same team work together.
Before we came in and whenever we did pen setup, we got bleach water and we sprayed it all over the pens to make sure it killed the different diseases and stuff. And before we laid down our bedding, we put up anti-parasite stuff on the ground.
I have to make sure other people don't use our water troughs and make sure it's full every time, it's clean, filtered.
Making sure your hands are always washed, not going from pen to pen and touching like different species.
One of the things was sanitary stations where people could come and see the animals, touch the animals, but you got to wash your hands. At the fair, it's like what we do at home, but it's times 10.
Some other ideas were species-specific barns or areas, separating market animals from breeding stock, suggest visitors not eat while visiting the animals, and request the public avoid tracking animal waste by staying on public pathways and, if possible, leaving strollers or other wheeled items outside the barns.
Our goal is never to obtain a sterile environment. That's not realistic for our everyday lives. At home or at the fair or at work, we're always surrounded by microbial communities. And a lot of those bacteria are really good bacteria. Some of them are bad bacteria. And so what we try and do, just like at home or at school, we try and reduce the risk that those bacteria are going to be able to make us sick. And so we encourage hand washing, we encourage practices that will help to keep the environment relatively clean, but never sterile. That's not realistic.
The collaboration with the local 4-H group proved to be very successful, and they will continue to work together to identify new ideas to mitigate disease transmission. Just start with simple upgrades and add more as you can. Even small steps can make a big difference. For more information and additional resources on how you can develop a biosecurity plan for your fair or event, visit our website.
Fairs are a fantastic opportunity to get out, to bring your family, to get to interact with the animals. So we really learn a lot about, how do animals interact with their environments. They're super cute and curious, as we can see here. And it's something that is a regular thing we all look forward to every summer, is going to the fairs. And so that's something we really want to promote. And the fairs have done a great job at really trying to implement best practices so that when we do go and visit with the animals, we're going to stay healthy, and so are they.